Have you ever noticed people are incredibly interested in your opinion right up until it doesn't match theirs? I mean, think about it. People say they want honesty, say they value authenticity, right? People say, just be yourself, which is beautiful, right up until yourself starts disagreeing with them. And then suddenly, like, we're having a very different conversation. And honestly, I think that's fascinating. Because if something is true, think about it. Why does it need so much defending? I've thought about this a lot. Politics, religion, relationships, families, workplaces, and again, the comment sections, Everybody wants freedom until, somebody uses it differently. Everybody wants open discussion until the discussion opens somewhere uncomfortable. Everybody wants independent thinking until it becomes independent of them. And before anybody gets nervous, this isn't about one group either. It's about humans. Because humans do this everywhere. We do it at church, work, and relationships, families, groups, online. If we're being completely honest, we do it in our own heads. Because fear has a habit. It recruits. It gathers support, counts votes. It takes attendance. Fear desperately wants confirmation because fear's not looking for truth. It's looking for certainty. And those are not the same thing. Truth can survive questions. Fear can't. Truth can survive a disagreement. Fear cannot. Truth can just sit quietly in a room and, fear starts pacing. You ever notice that? The most secure person in the room, it usually isn't the loudest. The loudest person in the room, that's often the one that's trying to convince themselves. Let's be honest. We've all done it. I've done it. You get an idea, a belief, an opinion, and then suddenly you don't just want to hold it. You want witnesses. You want backup, you want validation. You want somebody to nod along and say, exactly, that's what I think too. And when they do, it feels good, really good. Because agreement feels safe. But safe and true they're not always the same thing. Some of the biggest mistakes in human history, it happened because everybody agreed. Let that sink in. Entire groups, entire nations, entire organizations, all agreeing, all wrong, at the same time. Which means agreement by itself doesn't prove anything. And that's very uncomfortable because most of us secretly use agreement as evidence. Think about it. I mean, if enough people believe it, it must be true, right? Not necessarily. At one point, people thought smoking was healthy. Doctors actually used to prescribe cigarettes, right? People thought the earth was the center of everything. Some people still do. People thought New Coke was a good idea, right? History is basically a museum of confident mistakes, which is why, I've become less interested in certainty, honestly, and more interested in curiosity. Because curiosity asks the question, what if I'm wrong? Where only thing fear can usually say is, how can I prove I'm right? Very different energy. One learns and the other defends. One explores and the other fortifies. One's growing and the other guards territory. And honestly, I think that's think about it. That's why so many conversations fail. Nobody's listening. Everybody's recruiting. We're not exchanging ideas. We're building teams. We're collecting supporters. We're drafting emotional soldiers is what we're doing. And suddenly the conversation isn't what's true. It's who's on my side. That's called fear. Fear loves sides. Truth doesn't need one. And the older I get, the more suspicious I become of anything that demands complete agreement. And it's not necessarily because it's wrong, but because reality is complicated. Human beings are complicated, life is complicated, and anything that can't tolerate questions usually isn't very strong. Strong things survive examination. Weak things demand protection. Think about that for a minute. Truth doesn't panic when it's challenged. Truth doesn't need censorship. It doesn't need intimidation. It doesn't need everybody to clap. Truth simply remains true, whether you agree with it or not. And that's incredibly freeing. I mean, because it means you don't have to spend your life policing everybody else's thoughts, right? Imagine the time we'd save, the energy, the blood pressure. My gosh, we could all finally stop trying to manage the entire internet, which, let's be honest, has never worked anyway. And if my kids come across this episode, or maybe somebody else's child, and somebody who's exhausted from trying to make everyone agree with them, listen, you don't need universal agreement to trust what you know. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everybody to walk the same path. So speak honestly, stay curious. Listen carefully. Ask those hard questions, including of yourself. Because confidence without curiosity, it becomes arrogance. And certainty without humility, that becomes blindness. The strongest people that I've ever met, they weren't the ones who had all the answers. They were the ones who were not afraid of the questions. And if this episode reminded you of anything, I hope it reminded you that agreement and truth, they are not the same thing. One's a head count and the other is a discovery. So having said that, I'm going to go read comments from people who completely disagree with me, immediately become defensive, and then, spend the next hour pretending I wasn't defensive at all. I love you guys, and I'll catch you next time.